have the ability, they report the ability, to travel out of body in this world. And there's a very intriguing account from an anthropologist who was working with an Indian tribe deep in the Amazon. They drink ayahuasca twice a week. He was drinking with them. And the next day, their shaman came and reported to him, "We're very sorry to tell you, but the father of your wife died in New York last night." And 5 days later, the anthropologist received the information from New York that exactly at the moment that they said, indeed, the father of his wife had in fact died. So they had seen this in vision. They had been able to remote view to travel to different places. And this is why I say again and again, if we want to investigate the paranormal, if we want to investigate the supernatural, we don't need to rely on cute little instruments like so-called ghost meters. We need to rely on the vast experience and knowledge of shamans in hunter-gatherer cultures around the world who do this every day and who absolutely understand these realms and these beings.
Let's go to our wild card line. Welcome to Coast to Coast. You are on the air with us. Hello there. Good morning.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Yeah, I was wondering if we can tap into other dimensions. Couldn't they tap into ours? We wouldn't know what they could be messing with us and screwing things up. As bad as our things are going on our planet, they could have. They obviously have powers. They're way ahead of us.
Very good question. And this is exactly why the discipline of shamanism is so important, because what shamans are saying is we do not need to be victims of these transdimensional intelligences. We do not need to be at their mercy. We can enter their realm. We can deal with them on our own terms. I have no doubt that spiritual beings and entities are involved in much of the mischief that takes place in the world. But if we're going to deal with that mischief, then we have to deal with them. And the only way to do that, the way that human beings have developed over tens of thousands of years, is this amazing ancient system called shamanism, which is so derided and despised by modern scientists who really know nothing whatsoever about what we're talking about. In other words, these realms are all around us all the time. They're interconnected with our lives, whether we like it or not. We better know about them. We better deal with them rather than turning our backs on them.
When you take the ayahuasca, how long does it take to kick in?
Kicks in after about 45 minutes. You're dealing with a small amount of liquid. It's very dark in color, red or dark black, very tarry, very concentrated. It's equivalent to perhaps a double shot of whiskey in size. The moment it hits your lips, you know that you're dealing with something serious. The taste is absolutely ghastly. It is, without a doubt, the worst taste on this planet. You shudder as it goes down. Then you're okay for a little while. After about 45 minutes, you're starting to feel the nausea. You're starting to feel these ominous stomach rumblings. And at the same time, these amazing visions are beginning to present themselves before your eyes. Best seen with your eyes closed rather than eyes opened. I suppose one of the reassuring things about ayahuasca is that you can often stop the visions and come back to this world by opening your eyes. And then you're in the ayahuasca state. The vomiting is normally over within an hour and a half. You're in the ayahuasca state for the next 2.5 to 3 hours. Some people need to take a booster, take a second shot of ayahuasca to keep their level of consciousness at the right tuning. That depends on individual brain chemistry. The experience can be extended, but most people find that 2 to 3 hours of this exploration of another world, because that's what it is. It's a richly detailed world, a jungle world full of intelligent beings. 2 to 3 hours of this is enough in one night. And overwhelms you, and you need to come back and ground in this world again.
Graham, how long have you been studying this portion of what we're talking about tonight?
Well, my first encounter with ayahuasca goes back to 2003.
Not too long ago.
Not too long ago, and I came to it very reluctantly because I too had been affected by what I now clearly recognize, at least where hallucinogens is concerned, by the propaganda of the war on drugs, and I was very, very afraid. But at the same time, as a professional writer, as somebody with a commitment to bring honest and directly experienced information to my readers, I felt that if I'm going to be talking about the role of altered states of consciousness in human evolution, then I must experience those altered states myself. Many scholars who work in this field refuse to do so, but I felt I had to do so, and in 2003, I finally forced myself to do so. And my program of inquiry involved ayahuasca, it involved ibogaine from the Amazon, it involved psilocybin mushrooms, it involved pure DMT, dimethyltryptamine, all of these plant-based shamanic hallucinogens. I did work with them, and they completely changed my view of reality.
One more hour to go with our guest, Graham Hancock. Phone lines ready. We'll be back. I'll tell you, this show is just flying by tonight. We'll be back in a moment. Graham Hancock, our guest. The rest of your phone calls on Coast to Coast AM. Graham, of everything that you have worked on over the years, and you've done a lot, is there an area, a subject matter that is so compelling for you, you want to keep going back to it, you want to keep revisiting that as a subject?
Well, I revisited and explored the mystery of the lost civilization over a period of 15 years, up to and including my book Underworld in 2002. Can I just take this opportunity to just a moment to mention that I'm going to be on a speaking tour in the U.S.
Oh, sure, and I hope you swing by either Los Angeles or St. Louis where I can meet you directly.
Unfortunately, I won't be in St. Louis. At least it doesn't look that way at the moment. The details are up on my website under a button called Talks and Events, and also on the Supernatural page of my website. I'm speaking mainly on the West Coast, certainly in Los Angeles at the Learning Annex. I'm speaking in San Diego, and I'm speaking at a conference called CPAC, the Conference on Precession and Ancient Knowledge, which is being held at Irvine University of California, just outside L.A., and there I'll be giving a talk both about my previous interests, the lost civilization interest, and also about this new inquiry into the nature of reality and the role of the supernatural in human evolution. And that's between the 13th and the 15th of September. All the details are on my website, which is grahamhancock.com. Okay. Altogether, I'll be in the States for 3 weeks. I finish up in New York on the 2nd of November at the Chapel of the Sacred Mirrors. And I'm also in Boulder, but most of it is on the West Coast.
Okay, and I thought you said the 13th and 15th of September. Did you mean October?
I mean October, yes, of course.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
Good.
Excuse me, I'm getting displaced in time. Yes, I mean the 13th to the 15th of October. I'm actually arriving in the U.S. on the 9th, and my first event is in San Diego at the Learning Annex on the 11th, and then the CPAC conference at Irvine is between the 13th and the 15th of October, as you rightly say.
Very good. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to our wild card line. Welcome to Coast to Coast. You're on the air with Graham Hancock. Hi there.
Yes. Hi. What an honor. This is Mayumi. I'm in Sacramento, California.
Hello. Hi. Thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Yes, this is Mayumi. I'm calling because I was wondering if you've ever tried shamanic drumming to reach the altered states.
Yes, drumming very frequently accompanies ayahuasca sessions, and I know many individuals who have succeeded in getting into the necessary altered state with drumming alone. I know that shamanic drumming is a very effective technique, and for those who prefer not to use the ancient plant hallucinogens that many shamans work with, rhythmic drumming is another very effective means for altering consciousness. Some people find it easier to go into an altered state than others under the influence of rhythmic drumming, but it certainly does work.
Oh, wonderful. And I had a question what about Huna. I know my grandfather was really deeply involved in and about Huna. What do you know about that?
Sorry, I'm not quite sure what you're referring to.
I was wondering, is Huna a shamanic kind of thing also?
I'm lost as to what Huna is. Sorry.
So am I. I've never heard of that. How do you spell
Never
that?
heard of Huna? It's a Hawaiian religion, ancient religion.
Right.